cannot fucking believe it. Over. The moon, for Christ's sake. The moon. Over. You're cleared to hook up lunar equipment conveyor to walk on the moon. Over. I'm descending the ladder. See the Earth. Entire planet Earth. Love of Christ. We read you, Tranquility. Over. On the bottom rung of the ladder. Just one more step and I'm... Tranquility? Holy living fuck. Are you fucking believing this? Over. We read you. Over. I abso-fucking-lutely am standing on the surface of the fucking moon. I'm talking to you from the surface of the fucking moon. Jesus H. Christ in a chicken basket. Holy shit, Tranquility. Holy mother of fuck. The fucking moon. Over.
So yeah, that's let me pause it here. That was sort of a little intro there. Let me switch back to there's David Icke. Let me zoom back up here on my bully mug. Just getting used to this OBS podcasting software. Transition. Stop recording. Okay. So yeah, the little fucking moon, man, on the surface of the fucking moon. But yeah, it's I've been in the UFO stuff for a long time now. I worked at Wright-Patterson for about 2 years. Saw the B-2 bomber. B-2 bomber being dedicated to Ohio. Back, the Wright brothers, the Wright brothers like had a bike shop in Dayton, Ohio, back in the day, and let me capture the browser again here. Let's see here. Window capture. Video capture device 2. Add existing. Nope, that's me. That's me again. Sorry about that. Yeah, I want to remove it. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna do a window capture. Video, no, not video capture. I'm gonna do a window capture. Add existing window capture. Okay, yeah, there we go. So that's back to my browser. I'm new to this, so bear with me here. I'm gonna make myself really small so you don't have to look at me a whole lot. I'm gonna order this window down. Order, move to bottom. Okay, so yeah, okay, so there I am, right here. Um. So yeah, I was searching for like B-2 stealth bomber, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, 1998. That's when I was there. I can't find any videos when they dedicated it to Ohio. I was there. I mean, back. It was probably 1998. It wasn't 1999 because I got married in 1999 and I wasn't working at the base anymore. It was 97's when I got hired for the company that I worked for that had a contract at Wright Patterson. So it was probably 1998. Me and a coworker, um, we worked in a building right across from the flight line in Area B of Wright Patterson Air Force Base, and they had the plane come in, the B-2 bomber. Yeah, man, it was awesome. This isn't the original video, obviously, but just seeing the plane come in, and it's just like a sliver. It's like a sliver in the sky. I guess you can see the big air brake there, but it flew over. It did a flyover when I was there. I did see the SR-71 too at Wright Patterson back in probably the early 90s when I was still in high school in the ROTC. I grew up in southwestern Ohio. I was a part of the Air Force ROTC, and so we did see the SR-71. I saw it land one time. I was up in the cafeteria at Wright Patterson Air Force Base when I was a kid, and the plane came in for a landing, and they put these little I guess they're like engine covers like over the engines. It landed right there at the damn museum. It pulled right up to the museum, I remember, and I was up in the cafeteria. I was having a cheeseburger actually. Some of my favorite cheeseburgers back in the day. We used to go to Wright Pat a lot, up to the museum when I was young, and it pulled right up. And the pilot, I remember, came out of the plane. He came up for lunch. Yeah, so and somewhere in my archives, in a box somewhere over in the corner of my garage, I have a autographed picture of the pilot that landed the stealth bomber at Wright Patterson in 1998. I got to they had like a stack of pictures of the plane, and I was able to go up and pick one up and then get an autograph from the pilot. So I still have that somewhere in my archives. I'll have to pull that out one day. And sorry, I've been drinking vodka and Southern sweet tea, Milo's sweet tea. There's a advertising spot there. So let me go back to my OBS here. So yeah, I'm still recording. I'm still in studio mode. I never did transition. Okay, there we go. Over to the plane. Sorry about that again. I'm just getting used to this thing here. So, but yeah, I searched and searched and searched, tried to find a video of the dedication of the B-2 stealth bomber to Ohio. The governor of Ohio was there. Al Gore. That was back during the Clinton administration. So Al Gore was there. Air Force Two was parked out. When I left my building, it was parked on the right side of the flight line. And so it didn't have Air Force One on it or any of that. So it just had United States of America, a big, white and blue paint scheme and stuff. So it was Al Gore. Clinton wasn't there. But like I said, me and a coworker, we worked across the street, so we dressed up that day. I was in my full suit, and everything, and we had our Wright-Patterson Air Force Base IDs on and stuff. So we looked all official. And believe it or not, they just had a kid like from ROTC. It was some unit probably up around Dayton, guarding the hangar. He was just standing there in the doorway, like to the hangar, and me and my coworker walked up, and big African American guy. He looked pretty intimidating. So this guy just sort of waved us through the security gates and into the base, and let's see, but we got into we walked through the hangar. They had another B-2 stealth bomber on display in the hangar. It was sort of like for VIP. So after the ceremony, they had a B-2. They flew it directly from like Kansas. They have a base. It's probably Whiteman Air Force Base out in Kansas. That's what I've been seeing here when I've been Googling it. But they probably they flew it directly in, from what I remember hearing, and it did a flyover, and then it flew directly back to Kansas. But they had one in the hangar across from my office, and so after the ceremony, the governor, the vice president, everything, they went back in, and they showed it off to all the, I guess, the military defense contractors, the industrial complex, and everything. So that's who I used to work for, I suppose. And yeah, so that was probably my first experience, like outside of seeing the SR-71 land when I was a kid. That was probably the first like experience I saw, like, of the modern military industrial complex. So yeah, my cigarette went out on me. So yeah, I hope this is coming out okay. Yeah, so let me see if I can find another video here. B-2 stealth bomber flyover. I guess they did one at the Capitol. That's Pasadena. They did one at the Capitol, I know, like recently. So let me play this one here. So
there it is.
Out in California. But that's exactly what I remember. This big long sliver in the sky. It's a majestic aircraft. I guess those are probably F-16s or F-18s next to it. I mean, it's just amazing.
There you are. Escorted by two fighters.
It might be F-35s for all I know in this day and age. Probably F-35. Also stealth. The technology we have these days. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. So that's what I remember back in the old days. I mean, The SR-71 was probably a little bit better. I guess it's calling up another one here. That's a B-50. B2? Oh, that looks like a B-52. That's a big B-52, and I remember seeing one of those too when I was in Dayton, Ohio, right near Wright-Patterson, and yeah, you could see the smoke coming out, and I remember one. It probably flew over at like 10,000 feet. It didn't have it obviously didn't have like a sound muffler or anything. It was right during the let's see, 1996. So I guess there's probably still some stuff going on in the Middle East, and it was loud. I mean, it was low. It was probably 10,000, 12,000 feet, but it was huge. It just lumbered across the sky. Pretty impressive too for such a big plane. You know, just moving as slow as it was across the sky. So that's that. But yeah, so there's my website here that I'm sort of promoting, ufoshit.com. I just posted Joe Rogan with Annie Jacobson. She's talking about Area 51 and how they supposedly came up with the name of it. She said it was the year, like the 1951, but that's not what it is. Supposedly the land out near Area 51, like in Nevada, which I just went to about in early August. It was out in the west, so the land was broken up into areas. They had like Area 50, 51, 52, 53, Area 49. I mean, they had it broken up because, you know, it wasn't as organized when people moved out west. So they, and it just happened to get that name. You know, the Groom Lake facility at Area 51 just happened to be in Area 51. So that's all there is to it. It didn't have anything to do with the year that the base was established or, you know, 4 years after the Roswell crash. That's all a bunch of, you know, bullshit in my opinion. So, but it's still, it's an interesting Joe Rogan though. She talks about like, you know, just military industrial complex, Project Paperclip, which had to do with the German scientists that were brought over after World War II, Werner von Braun, and a lot of the guys that were the founders and rocket guys that helped us get to the moon, as you saw in the in the opening clip there. We're on the fucking moon. Roger, Houston. We're on the fucking moon. So, yeah, it's all good. And then got some Bob Lear, who was a old friend of Bob Lazar, which many of you UFO people probably know, or probably saw the documentary on Netflix or whatever, the Lazar conspiracy and everything. But he talks about a lot of stuff in this podcast. What is this? I think that's Project Camelot. Carrie Cassidy. Let's see here. Let me scroll down a little bit more. Bill Tompkins, Navy guy, protege. I mean, he was just an amazing genius dude back in the day, and he was in the Navy, and he, from the time he was a child, he was building like perfectly proportioned models of Navy ships back that were out in the off the LA harbors and stuff back in World War II. Probably like down around like Dana Point and San Diego. I mean, he grew up out there, but that's a two-part podcast or two-part Carrie Cassidy Project Camelot video. Let's see. Oh, I guess I did post the fucking moon already. So, yeah, I probably should take that top one. No, I didn't post it. Okay, I just played it for the video. I didn't post it on the website. Tompkins, fucking moon. There's another Joe Rogan with Tom DeLonge from Blink 182, who was a part of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program from the Pentagon that got like $21 million in funding over a couple years, and they, I guess it was sort of a disinformation office, but a little bit, but they did gather some good information. They put out the videos on the Navy planes that are following they're sort of tic tac shaped UFOs out over the ocean, following those. So that's sort of an interesting topic as well. But the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. Then good old Stephen Greer from the Disclosure Project back in May of 2001. I was actually working in Washington, D.C. when that all went down back in the day. And they mentioned, during that video, they mentioned a company that I used to work for, SAIC, that had to do with the advanced propulsion of alien reverse engineering program. What is it? Alien recreation vehicles, ARVs, alien replication, something like that. But the company supposedly did they did the reverse engineering on the propulsion systems. So, and there's a document, I haven't posted it here on the website yet, but that had to do with a fifth dimensional space travel. It's in my Dropbox, I think, somewhere. A friend of mine, I sent it to him a couple months ago. But it's all these formulas and stuff for fifth dimensional warp travel, quantum, a lot of quantum stuff. But it was declassified back in, I want to say 1989 by SAIC. They prepared the document for NASA, and probably a number of the other military industrial complex companies that were out there at the time. So pretty fascinating. So I'm not going to pull that up. I'll probably reveal some personal information. I don't want to get into my email here on the video. So, but that's about it. So thought I'd do a little bit longer broadcast here just to test it out. Like I said, I've been drinking, so my speech is probably slurred and I'm not very coherent. I'm probably just jumping around from topic to topic. So, but hey, it's 3:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in Kentucky. Good old Kentucky. I'm getting some text from some chick here. She's wondering. This chick's wondering if I've been drinking too much. Oh yeah, I'm telling her, not too much, not as much. Let's see, comma. I should put a comma in there. Not too much, not as much as last night. Much as last night. She asked well, hello, where did you go? I'm here. Just broadcasting to. Well, not broadcasting technically, I'm not streaming, but recording this for whoever's listening. So I'm here testing out some podcasting software. Hit send there. So yeah. I really want to get a podcast going when I'm a little more coherent, and I have two other friends who are into the topic, but I think I'm going to mostly produce podcast. I have a friend, well, two girls that I know from my local craft beer bar. They want to do like a podcast on serial killers. Of course, women, I guess, are into serial killers. Um, I have another friend who wants to do one on like health topics, health issues, organic, vegan, natural eating. Um, I guess our podcast name is probably going to be like the unfiltered vegan. So, but she's big into like anti-vaccine, but not necessarily to the point where she's against vaccines, but just giving vaccines to like multiple vaccines to kids at such a young age. You know, it's a shock to their system. It's you know, it causes trouble when you give too many to a young kid at a young age. But so she's gonna do that. I'll probably be the producer. I'll be the behind the scenes guy. I'll be like Joe Rogan's Jamie. I'll be in the background, just switching camera angles and making sure everything turns out okay. So that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out here. See how big of a file it is. Let me play a little bit more here. So let me bring the video back up. So hello everybody. I'm in my garage at 3:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Girls texting me. Guess I gotta get back to that. I got the little bubble. Let me cover up her name, but I got the little bubble on the screen, so she's typing me a message back there. So she sent me a little alien head because she knows I'm into frickin' aliens and stuff. So yeah, that's about it. So hope you all have a good night. Sleep well. And catch you all on the flip side. Oh, yeah, wrong button.